This episode is brought to you by The Guarantors. Chasing down residents who don't pay their rent is taxing enough. Did you know you could offset the risk of renter default? Meet The Guarantors. They'll requalify your applicants and insure their rent. If the resident doesn't pay, you still get paid. Visit theguarantors.com/multifamily today.
I read an interesting stat the other day. Did you know that a SpaceX rocket has 10,000 sensors? They're tracking everything. There is a sensor that tracks every single thing on that rocket. When it's going up into space, when it's coming back down, and it's being captured by the chopsticks and where it's landing on the ground, it is being tracked from every perspective, from every angle. Suffice it to say, at some point in the multifamily space, in organizations across the country, we are going to see the introduction. We've already seen the introduction, especially on the water conservation side or water, sort of call it the hedge against risk. So leak detection, things of that nature. We've already seen sensors come into play as it relates to that. Now, you could go back, who knows, 20, 30 years. There was sensor technology in the irrigation space where there was a sensor that sat in a gutter and it monitored rainfall. And if the volume of water in the gutter was moving at such a pace, the sensor would capture that pace and or the raindrops that are coming down, and it would tell the irrigation system not to come on. Some of this was being governed by satellites 20 years ago, plus or minus. But there was also that sensor, that rain gauge in a gutter that caused the irrigation system not to come on if it rained enough to water the grass in a multifamily community. So sensors have been around for a very long bit of time. But sensors are really making their way with the Internet of Things, with edge computing, with being able to capture data in a way that doesn't consume a lot of energy, time, or space. You can basically put a sensor on anything these days and you can track data. And you can just imagine what you can start to do with that kind of, not only water conservation, but electricity. You think about parking garages, you've probably seen this, parking garages where if no one is in the garage, the lights actually fade, or they reduce, or they dim to a certain point. Some of them even go out completely. You've probably seen this in a grocery store as well, when you're walking down the frozen food aisle and you see lights start to come on as you're walking down the aisle. It's not there to greet you on the red carpet with these lights coming on every time you take a step, but it's rather there in the way, it's rather there to conserve energy, especially in the electricity side. So you're going to see a lot of these things make their way into the multifamily space, whether it be amenity monitoring, which is already there, water conservation or water leak detection that's already there, ingress, egress, and getting in and out of a building, in and out of a gate, lights on the exterior of the property, lights in parking garages. You're going to see every facet of our operations impacted by sensor technology. And that data is going to be captured and then used to inform decision-making on a go-forward, whether it be CapEx budgets, whether it be making sure monitoring utilities so that you can head off any sort of activity that might be outside of the norm. But it's here. It's not coming. It's here, and you'll see more of it in 25, 26, 27. And if you're not taking advantage of that data, you could be leaving money on the table. And in a world where expense management, expense control is really important, you're going to be behind if you don't get this technology implemented ASAP. Take care. We'll talk to you soon.